The Pirates are back home, and tonight it's a battle of seafaring foes. The Pirates and the Mariners here in Game 1 of this three-game series. Coming up from PNC Park here in Pittsburgh, the Pirates try to go for a win here in Game 1 of the series. We welcome you into the booth. Joe Block and Neil Walker with you. Hannah Mears down on the field. And for the Pirates, it's going to be Mitch Keller getting the start tonight. And the last time around, he could have folded in that first inning, but he got the Pirates into the sixth inning. They came back and won the game. And that's what a veteran in your pitching staff can do for you.
Well, it's been somewhat of an eventful season so far for Mitch Keller. He started off the season really well against right-handed hitters especially, and was doing a real nice job. Then teams started to really load up their lineups with as many lefties as they could because he was getting righties out at such a good clip. So this last time out, as you mentioned, very uneventful start to this game as Mitch gave up 4 runs in his first inning. But he reached his high in strikeouts after you see this air. Those were all unearned runs. Gave up another run later in this game. But he was able to get through this, navigate this lineup for 6 innings. So it was pretty impressive. So you hope that he can add on to this and have a nice start here tonight in Pittsburgh against the Mariners.
Yeah, the Mariners are a team that not really a great hitting team, but they can really pitch, and you know that with George Kirby. And Kirby's been one of the better pitchers in baseball the last few years. This year, maybe on a bit of a downturn right now.
Yeah, he's been kind of another interesting case study, George Kirby. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. So take a look at 1.4 career walks per 9. He's almost, and we've talked to their side, they almost want him to throw less strikes because he's gotten his worst starts this year. He's gotten beat up because teams have been so aggressive, and he's been unlucky with ground balls and some weak contact or so on and so forth. And also, he hasn't got a lot of run support. So the numbers are a little bit misleading, but his strikeouts aren't as high as they normally are, and his walks are still where they're at. He's just kind of getting beat by that big inning.
Kirby and the Mariners going to face the Pirates and one of the hottest hitters in baseball in Brian Reynolds continuing his hot month of June.
You can feel it come, you can feel it in your heart, you can see it in the ground. You can hear it in the trees, you can smell it in the breeze. Look around, look around, look around. Because it's June, June, just because it's June.
Buccos fans.
Pirates back home, and tonight good weather here in Pittsburgh. Great time for baseball. Pirates and Mariners today, and you know, Brian Reynolds has been hot. I mean, as hot as anybody. How hard is it to get on base every game for a month? That's what Brian Reynolds has done.
I would say it's extremely hard, Joe. And as you can see right there, he has been hotter than Kansas City in July. And it's coming at a good time because we've been really grinding to put some runs on the board, and you know, this is a good opportunity for the Pittsburgh Pirates on a 6-game homestand to really get things going. And look at those career. I mean, it's all Hall of Famers, Joe.
This is in June. His career batting average is .325 in this month. OPS, he's second all-time as a Pirate.
It's remarkable. You hope it continues. We love June and July Brian Reynolds.
Yes, he has carried this team, and this team has needed it without O'Neill Cruz. And in that time that he's been out, Jake Mangum has really picked up the slack, especially with his bat.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more Jake Mangum with O'Neill Cruz out of the lineup, as you mentioned. And, just been scrappy, as always. Started 11 of the last 12, almost a .350 average, over 800 OPS. It always seems to put good at-bats together when it's needed most, or at least putting balls in play. When he gets on first, he tends to want to take off very quickly. So, spark plug, indeed.
And Mangum will be back in center field for the Pirates tonight, taking on a Mariners team that is in first place in the American League West. And tonight, it will be Mitch to pitch. Keller goes for the Bucks, trying to win Game 1 of the homestand and get the Pirates back over 500. Pirates, Mariners, coming your way from Pittsburgh, right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Up next. Pirates baseball on S&P is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. By Cohen Markets. Free ice cream is back at Cohen Markets. Club Cohen members get a free Hershey's ice cream sandwich all summer long. By your Western PA Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Kids at the ballpark, nothing better. And on a Tuesday night in Pittsburgh, Mitch Keller gets the ball for the Bucks. Trying to do what he did last time, and that's get into that 6th inning, maybe beyond, and make sure the Pirates earn the win.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a good jump start to this homestand. Pirates 3-3 out in Sacramento and Colorado. Day off yesterday. Ryan Reynolds talked about how hot he is. And I think for Mitch, if he can get out of the gate well here, especially this first time through the order, I think that will bode well for him, especially how he finished his last start in Sacramento.
And for the Mariners, bottom 3rd in scoring in baseball, J.P. Crawford at 3rd base. Cal Raleigh, who had 60 home runs last year, has struggled since coming off the injured list. J-Rod is 3rd, and then it's Josh Naylor. Rosarena activated from the IL today. Luke Raley returns to the lineup as well. Cole Young, Neil will tell us about him and Hannah as well today. Victor Robles and then Colt Emerson, 20-year-old shortstop for the Mariners.
Well, what do the Seattle Mariners do well as we see Mitch Keller and his Car Shield numbers, his 16th start, 5-4, just under a 5 ERA, 82 innings, 82 and a third innings, I should say, 65 strikeouts, and an opponent average of 248. As I was saying, how do we beat this Mariners team? They throw the ball really well, and especially this guy George Kirby tonight throws a ton of strikes. So I expect to see the Pirates offense be very aggressive. You mentioned the offense for Seattle, bottom third of the league in scoring runs, but they're opportunistic. They steal some bases. As you see Dan Wilson right there, their manager. They find ways to get on base. They actually slug a lot, but they don't get a lot of hits. So with Mitch Keller, you got to try to keep him in the yard and limit those extra 90s.
And the Levin Furniture and Mattress defense behind Keller tonight. Reynolds in left, Mangum in center, O'Hearn in right. In the infield, Gonzalez, Triolo, Lau, and Horwitz. Andy Rodriguez matching up with Keller again here tonight. J.P. Crawford swinging at the first pitch, dumping one into the sun field. And the Mariners have a hit on their first swing.
Boys are coming out swinging. This one not hit very hard. He couldn't have placed it any better down that left field line. Fortunately, just a single.
Got those hands in. Crawford now 4 out of 7 lifetime against Keller. Outfield mostly in that evening sun here near the solstice. Take a few innings before it'll go away. You look at those numbers for Cal Raleigh and don't expect that, but that oblique injury bothering him, and then he went on the IL, just coming back about a week ago.
Yeah, you don't want to be the team that awakens this that bat, I can tell you that.
Just 60 home runs last year for Raleigh. You can tell he's not going great right now. He probably would have swung at that pitch. You talk about Kirby challenging the Pirates. I mean, Keller throws a lot of strikes too, I would think.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. With Mitch, especially this situation right here, you got a slower-footed guy at the plate, and you got a guy on first base that might run. You'd love to see a ground ball potential, something down in the zone. He went for the strikeout right there.
In the air, Mangum has the first out. And Neil, you're telling us some of the things to look for. What are your keys to the game presented by your Western PA Buick dealers?
Yeah, Keller cast early. We talked about that real quickly. Mitch getting out of the gates hot, settling in, and throwing a lot of strikes and putting guys away when he has the opportunity. And Kirby's adventure, a 1990s game, if you can remember that, and George Kirby on the mound for the Mariners. Got to get to him early and hope you score enough runs and put this game in the win column for the Pirates.
Any early 90s Nintendo references are welcome. That's a nice play by O'Hearn. Remember, more of a first baseman coming into this season, learning that right field, which is no easy task in Pittsburgh.
He went a long way to get this ball, Joe. Watch him in your right corner right here, how far he goes to get this ball. And by about this point, he's not 100% sure where that notch is in the wall. And that's exactly why they have the warning track out there to alert these guys when they're going back and can't take a look how close they are. Fortunately for the Pirates and Ryan O'Hearn, he secures it. safely too.
It's a very fine play. We're taking a look at
I didn't
Andy
see this.
Rodriguez. Donnie Kelly out there. Joe Harris. I'm not sure what took place.
I wonder if he got hit with a backswing. Let's take a quick look here.
Our AHN Super Bowl will show us. A follow through from the hitter, maybe.
Ooh.
Talking it over, and I guess he's okay to continue. That's good news. So after that good play behind Keller, a couple of outs now. Keep an eye on Andy Rodriguez. If anything's amiss, they will err on the side of caution, that's for sure. Josh Naylor re-signed with the Mariners over the winter after helping them deep into the playoffs last year.
Well, we've about gotten to the point in the summer, Joe, that crest between the infield, as you see right there, has gotten about as deep as it can go. Summer just hitting us a couple days ago, I believe, either yesterday or the day before, right? Officially summer. And we got a beautiful night here this evening on the North Shore.
Yeah, not a lot of breeze. Warm temperatures, but not hot. Pirates back home. And 94 from Keller. Well, you're saying it would be important for Keller to get off to a good start, and typically he does. The first time through the order, they're only hitting 148 against him this season. A single to start, Crawford at first. To O'Hearn. With 3 flyouts, Keller threw the first, and now the Bucks come to bat here against Seattle. Spencer Horwitz has settled in nicely in that leadoff spot. He's back in there tonight for the Pirates. 4 leadoff home runs, and then it's Brandon Lau in the 2 spot. Brian Reynolds, as we told you, no one hotter in baseball right now. Nick Gonzalez. Ryan O'Hearn hits 5th. Andy Rodriguez, and then Marcell Ozuna returns to the lineup. Jake Mangum, a hot hitter as well, and Triolo rounding out the Pirates 9 here tonight.
George Kirby on the mound. Talked about him pregame as well. Guy that throws as many strikes as anybody in the history of baseball, surprisingly. And let's see how aggressive these Pirates are going to be right off the jump.
Aggressive. Now, I'm real curious tonight because the Pirates, when they've gone well, and Donnie was talking about this today, in the last game against Colorado, maybe better. The bat travels through the zone, and guys that throw strikes may benefit the Pirates and their hitters.
Yeah, and that's absolutely something that's talked about pregame, you know, especially with guys that really don't want to walk you in, and we get to a 3-2 count especially. You almost have to be on auto swing against guys like George Kirby because the chances of him walking you are so exponentially low that you might as well take your chance even if the ball is a little bit outside the zone. You know what he's trying to do. He's going to try to make you beat him. And he's got mid to upper 90s fastball too. So
that's the difference. It's not like he's easy to hit or anything like that, but you know you're getting a strike from Kirby, who has beaten the Pirates the last couple of times that he's faced him.
And for Kirby, he's got a 4-seam sweeper, 2-seam knuckle curve, changeup, cutter, slider. Main use is just a 4-seam, 2-seam sweeper and knuckle curve. Righties have really beat him up between the 4-seam and 2-seam. We'll see if that trend continues this evening.
The Pirates are left-handed dominant lineup. They're number 1 in OPS among their lefty hitters among all 30 teams. Against Kirby, 28 years old, grew up in upstate New York, pitched at Elon. Trying to straighten one out.
Well, that fastball clearly has some life right off the jump. Spencer Horowitz having a tough time getting that bat barrel out. Sometimes, as I mentioned, it's tough to see a little bit this first couple innings until that shadow gets out of there. Nonetheless, pitch number 8.
Well, 3-2, and you mentioned Kirby seldom walks guys. Guest strike. Turned around 97 for an opposite field hit to start. Let's take a look at our Penn West University stat of the day. The best strikeout to walk ratio. And this is in the history of baseball. Anyone that's 50 starts or more, George Kirby, #1. You see Paul Skeens on that list as well. They're all recent players because strikeouts are up, but Kirby's walks are so low that the last guy behind him, or ahead of him, I should say, on the walk list was Deacon Philippi, who pitched in the beginning of the 20th century for the Pirates, 1900s. So not a big strikeout pitcher like Skeens and some of those other guys, but no walks. I mean, nobody ever walks.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, and it's not, as you mentioned, it's not a small sample size. This is, I think he's close to 150 career starts, maybe, George Kirby. So he's been, obviously, we don't see the Seattle Mariners all that often, but they have a terrific pitching staff, especially their starters. A lockdown closer, Munoz.
Well, you don't see him if you have the lead late.
That is correct.
See what they can do against Kirby. Brandon Lau, tons of power. Looks like that fastball, like you said, even though it's upper 90s, it looks like it's playing even hotter to some of these hitters. At least the first few times they see him. There's the reigning AL Player of the Week, Logan Gilbert, Pitcher of the Week, excuse me. Logan Gilbert, among the strikeout leaders, whip leaders, and innings leaders in baseball. Look at those numbers. Home runs and RBIs leading all National League second basemen, and tops in OPS among National League second basemen. Make sure you vote for Brandon Lau and all your Pirates. Have you been impressed with his power numbers as a second baseman?
I mean, it's remarkable. The leverage he's able to create within his swing in regards to his size, he's figured it out. I mean, he's up on the plate a little bit. He's looking to pull. Number one, this is a really good ballpark for him to, take advantage of that shorter porch and where the ball really flies in right center. But I mean, he stays healthy. There's no telling how many home runs he ends up hitting.
Goes the opposite way here, but one out. And defensively for Seattle, Robles in left. Rodriguez, very fine center fielder. Luke Raley returns to the lineup. Crawford has moved over from short to accommodate Colton Emerson, the 20-year-old shortstop. Cole Young back home for the first time. Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh, the big hitters in that Seattle lineup. And welcome back to Pittsburgh. Cole Young, first time playing at PNC Park as a major leaguer.
Yeah, I talked to Cole before the game. Got fortunate enough to work with him a little bit in the off season, some baseball trainings type stuff. He's got about, said I think 25 to 30 people here this evening, so he expected big family and friends crowd for him. I know he's excited to be home even for a short period of time.
And he's only 22 years old, so think about that middle infield. 20 and 22, they're young for Seattle.
Very, very talented group, this middle infield here for Seattle. And sitting in first place in the AL West, just a game above 500, but obviously we know how things went for them last year.
Reynolds, some solid contact. Kirby's been more of a ground ball pitcher this year, but a couple of flyouts against him. Gonzalez having a fine year. And his Xfinity batting stats. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price. With that long home run in the Pirates' last game Sunday in Denver. I was talking with Donnie Kelly about Nick Gonzalez on the radio pregame show today about how, in this lineup, Gonzalez has power, but you don't have to have him be a power hitter on this team. And look at that batting average that we just saw, 293.
Well, when you put his, consistently good at bats together with runners in scoring position and runners on base, get there.
Baltimore chop. And the extra throw creates an extra base for the Pirates.
Oh, no.
And Gonzalez will run into an out to end the inning. Didn't get to second in time, and so the inning ends there. Well, Josh Naylor alertly didn't give up on that ball that got beside him and got that final out of the inning.
Well, you wonder if there was a little bit of thought in Nick Gonzalez's head. Josh Naylor, not necessarily known for his defense, and has 5 throwing errors alone from first base. So you wonder if that was kind of part of the plan too. If a ball gets past him at first base, or if you have a bunting situation, make sure you're testing his arm. But he answered the bell right there very easily.
That's a great point. Yeah, Naylor. You think a ball that is going to get back to that screen that you can advance on, but
yeah, and he just waited a little too long too, Joe. I mean, I guess he just didn't see it. If he did see that as soon as he got past Naylor, he probably would have been safe. But as soon as you start committing to, then you're in no man's land. You either have to race back to the bag and dive back, or just go and hope it's not a good throw.
So that bailed out Kirby, and now to the second inning. Mariners getting a couple of guys back in their lineup today. Rosarena, who has every full season, 20 home runs, 20 steals, 5 straight years to begin his career. First 5 full seasons.
Whoa.
Did he go? Well, he obviously went on that, and he's going to reach. So the Pirates have a base runner erased, and now the Mariners get one gifted.
Yeah, just sneaks past Andy and nestles back there by the wall. If that would have kicked off, he probably would have had a chance. Not the case.
So if you've ever wondered how a pitcher could strike out 4 in an inning, that's how. Someone has to reach. It does count as a strikeout. Luke Raley back in the lineup too. He hasn't started in 9 days. Back concern and illness. Onto the deepest part of this park. 1 out. Cole Young is coming up. Let's check in with Hannah.
Joe, you guys had mentioned earlier Cole Young playing at PNC Park for the first time in the big leagues. The North Allegheny grad grew up coming here as a fan. He said he was super excited to play in this ballpark in front of all these family and friends, giving him a standing ovation as he steps into the box. He said BP was actually where things really started to sink in for him today. As a Pittsburgh kid, he told me this is where he developed the love of the game. The people here, the coaches he had growing up, teammates all the way from Little League to high school. That's what shaped him into the big leaguer we see at PNC Park now. And guess what, Neil? You had mentioned getting to work with him. Well, you're actually a guy he grew up looking up to. So how about that?
Well, I mean, Cole is a terrific young player and has a potential to be an all-star in this league, in my opinion, because he just does so many things so well. Very similar to J.J. Weatherholt, another local product that plays second base, obviously, for the Cardinals. So guys that have really good offensive skill sets. Very little things they don't do not so well, right? You know, his skill set's not going to blow you away, but just a terrific kid and terrific work ethic. And I'm fortunate enough in the offseason to, get to work with him just a little bit.
Yeah, NA product in the major leagues. That's nothing new. That great program that they've had for years. But Great to see him ascend to the major leagues so quickly. Already second season at age 22. Keller getting that ground ball. Nice shovel by Lau. Double play cleans up the strikeout. No score.
Welcome back to PNC Park. Manager Don Kelly got some good news in regards to Jared Jones today. If you remember, he took that ball off of his surgically repaired elbow while we were in Colorado, but it was confirmed just a contusion. All imaging looked clear, and Jared Jones was in good spirits on his way back into the dugout to enjoy the game. It was a sigh of relief for him, all of that imaging that came back clear. And he lightheartedly joked that thankfully he's so tall, it got him in a good part of the elbow because it could have shattered if it was an inch up or down. So he played light catch today, and we'll take it day by day from there, but hopefully after his bullpen we'll get a more clear answer on his start day. But Joe, judging by the look of that, could have been much worse for Jared Jones.
Hannah, thanks for the update. And we were all so concerned to think about he let out a guttural yell when that happened. It was so audible up in the press box, and you could just hear in his voice at that time all the frustration of missing a year and a half of time, you know, and just, do I have to go through all that again? And he would have if it did break his elbow, but it did not, thank goodness. Here's a gapper. Andy Rodriguez with a 1-out, 2-bagger. Hannah, any update on Connor Griffin?
Well, good news for Pirates fans as well. Connor Griffin will begin a rehab assignment in Altoona tomorrow. There was a lot of questions, too, as to why he wasn't kept in the big leagues to DH, because we were told he's always been clear to hit, but that decision to not have him do that was out of an abundance of precaution. It would have been more concern with the swing and miss that would put stress and strain on that area, is what we were told, as well as running the bases and diving head first. So really important to just give him the time to rest. But now we'll get to see him in game action tomorrow in Toontown, Joe.
That sounds good. I always want to get Griffin back in there, the Pirates version of their 20-year-old shortstop. And how about O'Neal Cruz? Any updates on him today?
Yeah, he was seen by a hand surgeon a couple of weeks ago, and they said that bone is healing very well. He has additional imaging for healing of the bone, and they're just seeing good things from that. So he's in a good spot, working hard. He's been clear to begin gripping activities this week, like gripping a bat, a ball, high-level activities with that. He has been gripping a little donut type of tool in the dugout the past couple of weeks, so you can bet he is working extremely hard, doing what he can behind the scenes to get back on the field as quickly as possible.
Thanks for all those updates. Yeah, the Pirates trying to get back to full strength. And Pirates general manager Ben Cherington saying on his radio show too, you know, when a team, good teams find a way to win games when good players are on the injured list, and everyone goes through injuries at some point. We'll see how the Pirates can get through this, and maybe they get on a winning streak here starting on this homestand.
Yeah, it's certainly unfortunate that the two guys that you are losing are both on the offensive side of things and both playing significant positions defensively, but also contributing, you know, at a high level for most of the year. Here we go.
The other way for Ozuna. Indy's going to score. Pirates lead 1-0.
Oh, that's a great sight, Joe. A nice double from Andy Rodriguez and a really good approach swing right here. We saw him do this, Marcell Ozuna, a little bit on this road trip. Wasn't you know, given many, you know, he didn't get the fruits of his approach for the most part on the road trip. We did see him hit a home run against Oakland, but this approach right here bodes really well, especially with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, seeing him with 2 strikes think the opposite way, and that's an RBI out there. So he'll be forced. Donnie Kelly saying before the game today, I think we're going to see a different Marcell Ozuna going forward here, and I think that's what he's alluding to right there, his ability to go to right field. And look, you know, earlier in the count, he's still opening up, trying to pull the ball out of the ballpark. That's his job, is the DH.
Yeah, that's a big part of his game, right? Yeah. I mean, you're hoping that you see him hit the long ball, you know, 20-plus times a season, but make no doubt about it, he's a very important part of this.
And Mangum In that rundown, the pitcher lost the ball. Kirby couldn't hold on to the ball. Mangum creates mayhem.
That's a good move right there by Kirby. Knows Mangum likes to run. Oh. And that right there, Matt Capps and Bob Walk will not be happy with the next words out of my mouth, but that's why you try to keep pitchers out of rundowns.
That's a great point. They're just not used to that. Triola with a ground ball. And the Pirates are out of their inning, but they get the lead. Marcell Ozuna with the RBI. Pirates 1, Seattle nothing on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. So Ozuna knocking in the run. Pirates have 1. Mitch Keller to Robles. One-time Washington National. .241 with Seattle. Reynolds in that big left field. Ball in the air against Keller a lot so far.
Yeah, that's 5 flyouts so far for Mitch Keller after the leadoff single by J.P. Crawford. A lot of fly balls, but not necessarily heavily hit long fly balls.
Colt Emerson, the 20-year-old shortstop. Look at the Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone. A little bit off. You see that at 217, like you're saying, Neil, you know, maybe the batting average isn't all that high, but the slugging, when they do get hits, a lot of them for extra bases from this Mariners team. A lazy fly out for Keller. Coming up on Friday, it'll be the first game against the Cincinnati Reds on this homestand, and a pregame Miller Lite happy hour from the time gates open up until the 6:40 first pitch. Get your tickets at pirates.com/tickets. The Mariners in for 3, and then Cincinnati for the weekend. Pirates entering play today ahead of the Reds.
Mitch Keller nicely navigating that first time through the lineup. J.P. Crawford, their leadoff batter, gets an opportunity here in the top of the third with 2 outs. Stuff looks sharp. Fastballs in very good locations. Misses are not in the heart of the plate. We've been kind of keeping an eye, Joe. We talked a little bit about the comments that Mitch made after last time out against the A's. He started to call some of his own pitches at times. That's a good pitch. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on whether it looks like he's reaching down to call some pitches on his pocket. As you see right there, he does.
PitchCom system. It says it helped him find a rhythm after that bumpy first inning in that last outing.
Well, it takes the guesswork out, right? I mean, you know, obviously he trusts whoever's going to be behind the plate, whether it's Henry or Endy. But sometimes you hear these guys talk. You hear Paul Skeens a lot talk about, you know, he doesn't really like calling his own pitches, even if sometimes he wants to throw something over another, because he feels like he gets in a better rhythm when guys aren't calling pitches. Everybody's different.
And Keller with his second strikeout. A 1-2-3 third inning. Pirates have the lead 1-0 as they come to bat here in the third inning. And you can make your favorite players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star Ballot daily, or visit MLB.com/vote. And there's a lot of Pirates that you could vote, and really any of the guys coming up this inning deserve.
Catcher is counting the call of ball.
Let's take a look at ABS, powered by T-Mobile. First challenge tonight.
The call has been overturned to a strike. They keep their challenges.
And the eloquent Hunter Wendelstedt behind the plate. The Mariners win the first challenge overall. Out to deep center. You have to think some of these Pirates hitters, after playing in Sacramento and Colorado, are thinking that maybe they've tagged a couple of these.
Recalibrate a little bit, right? I mean, if anybody knows if they've hit a home run, it's Spencer Horwitz. So the first thing I usually do when he hits a fly ball is watch him, because if he does one of his epic backdrops, you know that it's going to be in the seats. He didn't do that there. So, but to your point, when you go play in Sacramento and in Denver, those launching pads, it can be tough to calibrate after a couple days back home.
And Hunter Wendelstedt working the plate tonight. Crew chief over at first, Vic Carapaza, Edwin Moscoso, and Nick Lentz. Also on the bases, the umpires. Base hit for Lau. For instance, that ball would have gone to the wall, of course. And tomorrow afternoon, we'll have a brand new Bucks BP show presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. Brian Reynolds, he's going to be joining Stephen Broad and Jordy Mercer down on the field during batting practice as the team prepares for the Mariners. Join us at 5 p.m. for the Bucks BP show on Sportsnet Pittsburgh, and always streaming on SNP 360. That is going to be fun to hear what Brian Reynolds has to say. You know, as he comes through with yet another hit. 13 straight games with a hit. He's been on base 28 games in a row, equaling his longest single season streak. He's the only Pirate in the last 20 years to have a streak this long.
Oh, and look at his pitches off the plate away. Doesn't try to pull it. This is usually when you know a guy is going well, is when you get, off-speed pitches earlier in the count, and you don't see him try to pull it. You just see him taking what he's given. You know you're going to find the barrel when things are going real well. So don't try to do too much. Don't try to hit a double or hit a home run. Let's start a rally. And that's what Brian Reynolds did right there. Just reached out, shot it through the 6-hole. Now you got a little mini rally going on.
Pirates already with 6 hits. Kirby has allowed the most hits of any pitcher. And a lot of times when you hear that, you go, oh, he stinks. But no, it's because he throws so many strikes. He's got good stuff and he's a good pitcher, but it's because he throws so many strikes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out from that standpoint, because you see the stuff, you see the movement.
And he also gets the most ground ball double plays. That one not hit hard enough. Another throwing miscue by the Mariners. This time the Pirates capitalize. They're up 2-0.
Well, you can't help but think back, Joe, those 2 games in Colorado where the Pirates didn't score with bases loaded and 1 out in a big spot in the game. This is what happens when you put balls in play. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That in most instances, that's a ground out right there. But when you put as you see Nick Gonzalez put the brakes on, he didn't want to do it again like he did that first inning. When you put pressure on the defense, even if it's a swing and bunt type of scenario right there, sometimes it bodes well and it's in your favor. Now you got first and third and 1 out and the runner scores because you put a little pressure, you put the ball in play. You do that consistently, you're going to have a lot of success.
Dan Wilson and his first place Mariners in town. Well, the Pirates have done something that they didn't do last year against the Mariners. Score. I mean, that's how good the Mariners were when they faced them last year up in Seattle. Remember, the Mariners shut them out in all 3 games of that series. So a different tone set to begin this series tonight. And already with 7 hits off Kirby. Second one tonight for Gonzalez, both infield hits. Now Kirby has had the most ground ball double plays of any pitcher in baseball. So putting the ball in play against him sometimes can yield that in his favor.
Yeah, that's typically what happens, Joe. You put balls in play, and nobody's been more snake bitten than George Kirby as far as traffic this year and balls put in play.
O'Hearn trying to stay off the ground there, and not deep enough to score the runner from third. Need a 2-out hit from Endy Rodriguez. Doubled last inning. Gapper. He's been very good from the left side. Came in with an OPS over 900 from that side of the plate.
Oh, and he added a double to that OPS just an inning ago.
Good movement on that sinker. 98 Kirby. Yeah, Endy's impressed. Pirates have the lead, looking for more. Kirby with his first strikeout. The Pirates add to their lead.
Welcome into the Toyota Rav fourth inning. A Pirates bench coach, Christopher Negron, was actually coach for the Mariners for a few seasons. Before coming to Pittsburgh, he told me one of the moments he enjoyed most in his coaching career in Seattle was in Sugar Land, Texas. He was managing AAA, and he was the one who actually got to tell Cal Raleigh that he was going to make his big league debut. He said their relationship started both as players and camp together, so then to be his manager and be able to tell him he was going to the big leagues was pretty special. Negron got to catch up with him a little bit today, and so many people on the Mariners side, so he was glowing and just beaming when talking about Cal Raleigh and how special of a person and player he is to him. Joe.
I can't imagine what it's like to coach a player, and then not only do they make the major leagues, but then have one of the greatest seasons offensively of any player. The pride that Negron must have felt.
Just a remarkable season from Cal Raleigh last year. You know, a lot of people on the East Coast don't get to see a ton of Mariners games unless, you know, you're a fan of one of the West Coast teams, especially in the AL, but really cool. Everybody has their kind of their own story, and Negron, he certainly stay it.
Raleigh with such good power gets the Mariners on the board. Home run number 8. He hit 60 last year.
I thought this one might hit the top of the wall off the bat. Just taking a look at O'Hearn in right field, and it looked like he was thinking maybe the same thing. But as we know, when summertime comes around here, Joe, ball really jumps to this part of the ballpark, right center field.
He got that same pitch at 0-1 that first time up and took it. Swung through a similar pitch 0-1 this time and missed it. Got it again. And he'll raise the trident or whatever they do in Seattle.
That thing looks heavy.
Yeah. And Keller, one of the better pitchers at limiting the long ball. But Raleigh, a special kind of power.
Yeah, only 8. That's only his 8th given up, and this is 16th start.
Rodriguez toward right field. Another good play by O'Hearn in right field. Wow. Both times against Rodriguez.
O'Hearn has had his work cut out there for him. In right field, he caught that ball in right center. And Julio Rodriguez hit. And now Rodriguez again. Looks like he's going to hit one off the wall and just goes up and snags it before it hits the Clemente wall.
So running to his right, running to his left. Rodriguez says, how do I get a hit against this guy? You don't. There's past Gonzalez, and Josh Naylor is on. Well, Naylor, famously last year, 30 steals. He has stolen 13 bases this year. He'll take advantage. Not the fastest runner, but he is a smart base runner. And a good one.
Yeah, 16 attempts this year. You mentioned 13 stolen bases, only 3 caught stealing.
He almost never gets caught. I don't think he got caught at all last year during the regular season with the Mariners. Rosarena back in Atlanta after missing a couple of weeks with a hamstring concern. He's DHing tonight.
And he's had a nice start to the season. Started this game over 290.
I think that last pitch just illustrates too. Keller, among all pitchers in baseball, he's in the middle of the plate more than just about anybody. But as you can see, it doesn't always get hit out of the ballpark when you leave a ball in the middle of the plate.
Yeah.
It's tough plays.
Yeah, and that's kind of a hard thing to try to figure out. You know, sometimes with certain hitters, as Naylor takes off.
Shattered bat.
Sometimes with certain hitters, you know, you kind of Yasiel Puig comes to mind. Oh my gosh, you see that jump by Naylor right there? Almost looked like he was just trying to trick Mitch. Rosarena trying to hit that 4-hole. But we would always kind of joke with guys like Yasiel Puig that were bad ball hitters. Best place to throw the ball is right down the middle, because they're usually not hitting those balls. Or, you know, it is kind of half joking, but you'd see it every once in a while and just pop up a ball right down the middle, or miss a pitch right down the middle.
That's a fastball.
Fastball, 94.
Yeah.
2 strikes. Mitch wanted this in. It ends up over the plate, but got enough behind it. Now the big 2-strike swing from Rosarena.
So Keller struck him out both times. Rayleigh has seldom played. And yeah, paying some mind to Naylor. Again, worth pointing out, 30 steals for him last year, and on pace to do about the same this year. Rayleigh went. Hitters don't like it when the plate umpire calls the swing, right?
Well, you never think you went. I can tell you that right now.
That's being tested in the minor leagues too. Defining a check swing.
Yeah, remind me how are they?
Something to the effect of a 45-degree angle of the swing. Anything beyond that will then be judged a swing. Be a few years probably. They'll work on that in the minors. The inning started with a Raleigh home run, keeping the Mariners so far from anything more. Right on the edge of that evening sun. Mangum tracks it down. So just the home run by Raleigh. Pirates still in the lead. Here's our Hyundai clutch play, and that was Ozuna's last time up in the second.
Now 1 out, hard hit backside. RBI single to score Andy Rodriguez. Love to see it. You'd love to see this, the big bear get hot.
Well, Donna Kelly was saying, you know, you're going to see a different Ozuna, he thinks. Yeah, this is just his 8th game in his last 23. So with all that time off, what's he been working on? Well, maybe, just judging by his play out of field, seeing those 2-strike hits the opposite way. And remember, he hit that ball in Colorado. He hit 1 home run, and then on the road trip, and then in Colorado he hit one 413 feet, but it was an out.
And it's pretty amazing what they said. It would have been out of every single ballpark except for Coors Field, which is remarkable to think about.
The outfielder was right up into the left of center field corner, and the wind was blowing in pretty stiffly at that time. So that batting average right now over 200. And think about where that has come from for Ozuna this year. Remember, he started 2 for 39. Has not been at or above 200 all season after any game. And that looked like a shorter swing with 2 strikes right there. Trying to cut down on the strikeouts.
We got Kirby at 40. This is going to be his 46th pitch. Pitch count's in a pretty good place. We've seen a couple extended at bats, especially Horowitz to start the game.
A good pitch from Kirby. Looks like a strike the whole time, doesn't it?
I mean, look how much of that's how long that stayed on the plate. That's, you know, a nightmare for especially a right on right or a left on left pitcher batter combo.
Been pretty efficient so far, pitch wise. Well, what you were talking about, you know, with 2 strikes, you could pretty much count on him throwing you a strike.
Right.
Especially with a 3-2 count, but ahead in the count there. Maybe took a little risk there and throw one that's going to end up out of the zone.
Well, after not striking out a batter through the first 2 and a third innings, Kirby's got 3 in a row now. No, I'm sorry. O'Hearn flew out. That's 2 in a row.
Trying to make contact with that pitch. 3 straight strikeouts now for Kirby. Saturday, the Reds will be in town for a 4:05 game, and the first 20,000 will take home a Pirates soccer jersey. That's all brought to you by AHN. Saturday afternoon, come on out. Get your tickets at Pirates.com. World Cup fever. Riverhounds will be in the house too. Celebrating their championship from last year.
Have you watched any of the World Cup, Joe?
The next time I do, it'll be the first. And I'm probably the only one.
I've seen very little as well. You know, Thursday there's a game, USA, so we try to tune in if we can. There's some soccer fans in the stands. Looks like an England fan.
I don't know if it was the last time when the World Cup was in the U.S., but I know it was the first time in '94. So I was a teenager. I was just a little too old. I was like, not going to get into soccer. And then I didn't. But if I was a little bit younger back then, I think I would have.
It is.
Because it's a good sport, I think, that a lot of people enjoy.
Sure. And I think the setup, especially the World Cup, is so interesting. There's so many teams. Like it's
spread across North America, right?
Yeah. Well, I think in other countries as well. I believe. Is it all?
Canada and Mexico.
Yeah.
Predominantly the U.S. If I understand it right. And if I don't, you can write a letter to the Pirates and tell me. There's a rare walk from Kirby. So Kirby's walk rate is the lowest since Deacon Philippi, who pitched in the first decade of the 1900s for the Pirates, and Cy Young, who began his career in 1890 when he threw from a pitcher's box that was 50 feet from home plate. That's why his walk rate was so low, presumably. Kirby's is the lowest since those two men. It's the only guys had a lower career walk rate with any appreciable time in the major leagues. So you just witnessed history watching Triola walk with 2 men out. It feels like, if you know the context.
Yeah.
See if the Pirates can make something out of it. They've run on Kirby a little bit this year too. 11 steals.
Yeah, I think this is a spot right here. You know, third time through the order, 0-2 count, 2 outs. Wouldn't be surprised. See Triola take a shot at trying to swipe second right here.
Gets thrown out. Maybe you got your leadoff man up next to him. Kirby heard you. You got to talk softer.
Sorry. Go, Jared, go.
We should hold up signs like they did in college football.
Yeah.
There. Lawrence must have something high there. Well, better for now. Pirates have had multiple hits in every inning against Kirby, the first 3. None so far this inning.
That would be a shattered bat right there. That's. Let's see where this hits on the bat barrel, or on the bat, I should say. Wow, right, kind of on the part that meets the top of the bottom of the barrel, top of right there, red to the white.
Cut through the tape.
Actually, more impressive that he made solid contact on that, given where it was on the bat.
And a strikeout 4 for Kirby tonight, but the Pirates have the lead. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Great shot of baseball through the generations. Pirates have the lead for Mitch Keller. What a thrill it's got to be in the zone for Cole Young. First time as a big leaguer playing here. What was it like for you when all the games you came to as a fan, and then all of a sudden you're on that field in a major league uniform, and then you played, of course, for the Pirates?
Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of my memories as a young kid were over at Three River Stadium, but by the time PNC Park opened up here, I was just getting into high school. So I have fonder young memories of Three River Stadium and going to games than I do here, because it was only a handful of years before I graduated. But I can remember being a high schooler, just like you heard Cole Young say to Hannah, that, you know, you sit in these stands, you watch these players, and you're like, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And when you have that opportunity to get here for the first time and you're on the field, it's like, it's a feeling that you can't really explain. You're almost like in a dream. And then, you know, slowly but surely things start to settle down. But those first couple months and those first road trips to go into new cities and places that you've always wanted to go, Fenway Park, Wrigley Field, all those places are just like, you're like a deer in headlights when you step out on the field, and you're like, I dreamt about this. I played video games about this, but now I'm finally living it.
I'm so happy for Cole Young able to have that experience. It can be tough when it's an offer for the series, but that's okay. He's gotten the experience.
They can pick it up after this.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be rooting for him real hard after that. And Keller with his 4th strikeout tonight.
A fastball just right at another hitter, just as he did at Randy Arozarena.
And then strikeout presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Well, Mitch has got 96 in there. If he needs it, or thinks he needs it on 2 strikes, why not? Remember when he first came up, I mean, big arm, and it's still there, a lot of it. Trio trying to angle on that hard hit in between hopper. Not an easy play, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he's got a chance right here. Emerson runs very, very well. Trio on the backhand would have been bang, bang. Now you got to keep an eye on Emerson over there at first base in a 1-run game.
Crawford will get another look. Rare 2-0 count from Keller today. He's been filling up the zone. Crawford 4 out of 8 lifetime against Keller, including a first inning single. Keller's done a better job last, let's say, 6 weeks or so at controlling base stealers. They had been running a lot against him the last couple of years, but for a while now, not a lot of traffic taken off against him. Just missed on that backdoor cutter. Kirby has walked a batter before Keller has. To deep center for Mangum. Keller and the Pirates with the lead.
Well, what better way to celebrate a birthday than at a Pirates game? That's my best friend, Maddie Mueller. Her birthday was yesterday, and ever since we've been in high school, the tradition for her birthday is to come to a Pirates game. That's her fiance, Colby. They're going to be getting married next April. I'm in the wedding. I'm so excited. And Neil Walker, she's a huge Neil fan. I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, you signed a ball for her. You showed her a video for a happy birthday video. That ball still sits on her mantle today.
Oh,
so
my
huge
gosh.
fan, but who isn't?
I might be available to come to the wedding if needed, Hannah.
Colby might not like that, Neil.
May I have the first dance?
Yeah, congratulations. What a terrific thing to do on your birthday every year, sounds like. And to have good friends like Hannah, congratulations.
And Brandon Lau trying to make this a double. Oh, yeah.
Wow, just keeps slugging, doesn't he? That's 2 for 3 on the day so far today. Single and scored a run in the third. Now just rides that one out, that off-speed pitch down and away. When you get it down that right field line, you got to make a decision pretty quickly whether you want to go. Rayleigh gets to it. Not even close.
Lau has a 7-game hitting streak, 19 doubles to go with the 18 home runs, among the extra base hit leaders. And so now, what do the Pirates do with the leadoff double? Get him over, get him in, is the old adage. 8 hits tonight. One shy of the most that Kirby has surrendered in a game this year. Remember, he's allowed the most hits in the American League. So look at that 13-game hitting streak. He's hitting well over 400. And that 28-game on-base streak continued. Get these Pirates in there. Reynolds, MLB.com/vote. Lau deserves it. And the Pirates are far trailing a lot of the other counterparts. Nick Gonzalez was the highest ranked vote getter among Pirates, but none of them would be starters in the All-Star game right now. Get your votes in. Remember when they had unlimited votes and then they realized you can make bots for that or whatever? Yeah. And then before that, they had the paper ballots that you could grab. They have
at the ballpark. Those were great.
Punch out the little holes. And like whatever team you cared about. So if you're a Pirates fan, you put all Pirates in there, and then the other league, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just pick whoever. I don't care about the other league. That was back when I was growing up. They didn't play each other. Trying to get all the worst players from the American League in there, or whatever, right? Whatever the other league is again. Oh, Reynolds will walk. A 2-walk day. Kirby has had a 3-walk game a couple of times this year.
Nick Gonzalez 2 infield hits so far today. Another opportunity with a runner in scoring position for him.
Both of those were infield hits. That will be a ground ball and a double play. The Major League leading 13th ground into behind George Kirby. Wonder if Emerson, the 20-year-old shortstop, took it on a hop on purpose or not.
Well, baseball giveth and baseball taketh away, right? Nick Gonzalez 2 hits on 2 infield singles. Now hits one real sharply with runner in scoring position, just right at old Emerson at shortstop.
A pretty savvy play if he did that on purpose. You catch it, probably don't get to, the runners get back.
Yeah, it's hard to do though when it's that quickly. You know, a lot of times if it's those short little hump liners or something that you may be able to at minimum either catch it or knock it down. You think maybe you could turn a triple play if you catch a guy the right way. But that doesn't really go into your internal clock on situations like this with a double play in order. He knows if he gets, as long as he secures this, he's going to get most likely a double play. But it would be savvy if he admittedly played that like that.
And Hannah was telling us earlier that the Pirates' 20-year-old shortstop, Connor Griffin, nearing a rehab assignment, so he'll be back in action hopefully before long. He had a 2-out hit from O'Hearn, who's made 2 really good plays in right field tonight. Gets it. Well, just pop it up.
Oh,
now he's got time. Pirates 2, Mariners 1 on the UPMC scoreboard. And Pirates baseball presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. How about a ball in the air against Mitch Keller? How many times have we seen that tonight?
it's been a lot.
Well, I have the answer for you, Neil. It's time for our Penn West University Educating You. That's a dozen times that Mitch Keller has induced a flyout today. That's the most in his career by 3. He had never had more than 9 flyouts.
A dozen or Baker's dozen?
So far a dozen.
Okay.
But now the Baker's dozen. You know, one for the Baker to try to eat to make sure that they could sell the other 12 to the public. That's what a Baker's dozen is. So let's see.
Yeah, outside of that 4th inning home run up the bat of Cal Raleigh, really hasn't been a huge threat. You mentioned all the fly balls, but maybe one kind of threatened to get out of here. That ball off of Julio Rodriguez's bat in the first.
He's thinking, how do I get ahead in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
He hit two to O'Hearn out in right field that he tracked down, and then that one, a laser to Gonzalez. Had a man there.
Oh.
Does that ball catch you sometimes?
Sometimes it does. You got nowhere to go. And sometimes it's knuckling and you get hit perfectly, you know.
Is that what happens if you really square up the baseball?
More so in the middle, you know. At the corners, you get more of the top, like the top spin, side spin balls. Lefties hitting the first and righties hitting the third. But your biggest nightmare, the one thing you really don't want to see is that ball hit perfectly square. Catch it.
And a man behind him, so he could go for it. Good attempt by Reynolds. Plays in every game.
Jam shot. From our vantage point, looked like Ryan Reynolds had a chance at this. He gave it a good effort. Fortunately, Mangum backing him up right there, so nothing more than a 2-out single.
If nothing else, we can admire his hair even more. That was nice slow motion right there. Mitch has been pretty crisp.
Sure has. But I was mentioning, Joe, as a middle infielder, your biggest fear is that ball that somebody squares up so perfectly that it's literally, and it comes right at you and it's knuckling, and your first reaction, you can tell about, you know, almost as soon as it's hit, just because you see so many balls hit for so long when you get to the big leagues, you know it's going to be trouble because it's going to come off and it's going to knuckle, and your only hope is to actually either go get it or have it basically catch you.
That's a 2-0 fastball to Rosarena, elevated. I've just been impressed how many times that Keller's gotten swing and miss in the zone on the fastball tonight, especially. And Naylor with a stolen base, his 14th of the season.
It's perfect. You see him do this so many times.
He has to do that because he's not a fast base runner.
Sure.
But he knows when to do it because he seldom gets thrown out. Trying to work around that 2-out steal. Pirates have had more chances. But Seattle right there, 1-run game.
That's a big pitch right here for Mitch. Got Rayleigh waiting on deck. His pitch count's only at 75.
Toward the wall and right, shy of it. And Keller works around any trouble, keeping the Pirates in the lead. 2-1, the Pirates have the lead, and Mitch Keller. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. How many of these fly balls have been very deep fly balls tonight?
Yeah, I still think that ball that you see to right center off the bat of Julio Rodriguez was the one that was the most dangerous out of all of them. But Mitch has done a fine job finding ways to get outs and staying away from really the main part of the barrel.
And a sliding grab by Robles. So only one of those balls, and that was the Julio Rodriguez ball in the first inning, would have been a home run in any other ballpark. All of them were not home runs anywhere.
Yeah.
So let the ballpark hold it. Yeah, sure.
And 13 flyouts, if I'm correct.
A lot.
Yeah.
I can't count any higher than that. So Ozuna drove in the first run. Hit the ball to right center after 2 strikes. Pirates with 8 hits off Kirby. 9 is the most that he's allowed in a game this year. He's now won a game since May 11th. And now activity. Jose A. Ferrer. Remember when Miguel Cabrera was with Detroit, he was starting to get up there in age, and a couple of the young players asked him, you know, how do you still hit? You know, he's still hitting close to 300 every year, even into his mid-30s. You know, Hall of Famer to be, of course. And he said, right field.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the idea that, you know, especially older hitters, when you don't catch up to the heat as well. And that's what we saw Ozuna do the first time up, go to right field.
Well, it's slowing the game down, right? It's trusting that, you know, if you back the ball up, you're still going to, at minimum, foul it off a good fastball in a good location or a good breaking ball down in a way. And it keeps you on a lot of stuff, truth be told. But it's a hard lesson to learn because as young players in this league, you want to stay in the league. And not many of them guys are necessarily like a Miguel Cabrera, like a Bryce Harper, some of these guys that get off.
Oh, they're otherworldly.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys are what I like to call chasing hits. So it's really hard to dive into the thought process of, like, you know, use the big part of the field, try to just use the barrel and not think about, well, if I get the bat barrel out just a little further, I might hit this ball in the gap or hit a home run. It's just as valuable when you get 2 out hits to the opposite field, especially with runners on base and in scoring position.
As we saw, that's really the difference right now for Donnie Kelly's group. That first hit. Pirates got the second run on an error, one of the 2 Mariners errors. The other one was on Kirby when Mangum was caught in a rundown. Got out of it, knocking the ball away. Mangum came into tonight a .299 career hitter. That's last year and this year. He was a rookie last year with Tampa Bay. And that was the 4th highest batting average of any active player. Again, with limited at-bats for Mangum, of course, but you know, in some good company, you just don't see guys hitting around 300 anymore. Probably because of what you're talking about.
Right.
Got to record it for history. Guy that hit 300. Spoiling 99. Kirby trying to put him away with these last couple of heaters.
Yeah, he's got it in his back pocket. We've seen him mostly sit at 95, 96, 97. He's sniffing.
And finally, he'll take him. And he's swinging at pitches that are well out of the zone, but that's his game. He gets a lot of his hits on pitches that are out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
Completely different style of hitter, but when Josh Bell was here, he had that great bat to ball ability. And they actually told him, hey, you can't swing at everything because you're such a good power hitter. You're hitting these little weak ground balls. You can't run as well. You know, hey, wait,
and
then hit
a little bit.
Yeah, hit the ball out of the ballpark. Mangum, though, speedy, not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark all that often. Seems like it suits him.
Yeah, and for Mangum, I mean, how many times this year have we seen him, hit a ball to the backhand of the shortstop and he's safe by a step, right? That's part of his game. And last year, I think he was top 3 in all of baseball in infield hits. So he understands that, which is a weapon in itself. Now putting together a terrific at bat. As this is going to be pitch number 9, I believe.
Well, Kirby's already walked 2 today. He knew he was going to get a strike. Another Mariners error. Maybe the second by Crawford today. 3 errors for Seattle. That extends the inning.
Well, let's see if he gets lucky. I doubt it. I think you're right, Joe. I think he's going to be given an error, but sometimes these in-between balls hit this hard. They give the batter the benefit of the doubt.
Well, he deserves a hit for 10 pitch at bat. Wow, that was great. Or whatever they scored. Crawford would tell you should have gloved it. And so the inning continues. And now a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Get the guaranteed lowest mattress prices for life at Levin.
So the Pirates trying to add to this narrow lead. Had a lot of traffic against Kirby. And that one plate appearance, I mean, all but certain now that he won't come back out for the 7th. And depending on what Triolo does here, may not finish the 6th. And Mariners bullpen is fresh. They had the day off yesterday like the Pirates did. And we don't see them a lot, but I'm curious, down a run, do they pitch their bullpen the same way as if they were up by a run? I don't know. There's an advantage to get to second with 2 outs, so Mangum thinking about it.
Like step back.
That's why Naylor went in the top half of this inning for his 2-out single. Mangum runs. A little soft liner. And Triolo ends the inning. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by Giant Eagle, your home team for groceries. And by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Lots of oars. Crewing the Allegheny. What do you think that is? The pit crew team, something like that, or just no? This is a leisure activity.
I actually know some people that do this leisurely as exercise and get out on the water.
Make your shoulders burn beyond belief.
I'm sure that's an incredible exercise, right?
I can't imagine because I've never done it or will. No, I bet that's really nice. They're doing their smart thing right now.
I mean, the best seat is the one in the front there. Guy just barking out orders. Person just barking out orders.
Rayleigh ahead of the count now. Mason Montgomery starting to loosen.
Left Cole Young on deck. Victor Robles in the hole, and Colt Emerson, 9-hole hitter, left another lefty. Montgomery going to be ready, even with Mitch Keller at 82 pitches here with this next pitch.
Yeah, pitch-wise, no problem. However, if he runs into any trouble, he got somebody ready. Base hit on a 3-2 fastball. Raley thinking too. Hustle double for the Mariners leadoff man here in the 7th.
That's a really good piece of hitting by Luke Raley. Got out of the box really well too, and strong throw by Jake Manga, but hard, especially for a left-handed center fielder to go in that left center field gap, get to this ball and turn and make a really, really strong throw. He did his best effort. Really not a great runner, but good enough to get the second on that.
Yeah, if he tries to pull that ball, that's an easy ground out. So 7th double for Raley. A tying run in scoring position with nobody out. Cole Young back home with a go-ahead homer in the 7th. He's flown on a cloud right now.
Well, how many times do you see it, Joe? A local guy comes in here and does some kind of damage, and this one hurt.
This is in Pittsburgh, and you hear all the roars for the kid that went to school at North Allegheny. First game in Pittsburgh. He hits a go-ahead home run in the 7th. Now, if you wrote that story, no one would buy the script.
It's like we're seeing the exact same thing that J.J. Weatherholt did.
I was just thinking that in his first game with the Cardinals coming back. He's a rookie, young in his 2nd year. This is the first time since he's with an American League team. They come every other year to Pittsburgh. And he had grounded out the first 2 times against Keller, who had the lead. Pirates with a lot of opportunities against Kirby, including a leadoff double of their own that did not come around to score. And now that's trying to rear its head. And Keller can still leave this game, and it would be a quality start. But not much cashed in by the Pirates on the other side of the ledger against Kirby. Young with his 7th home run. He's driven in 37 runs.
Well, he's played in every single game this year too. Not a guy that's split dependent, only faces righties. Obviously not hitting in the high part of the order, although he has had some games this year against right-handed starters that he's led off, but for the most part he's kind of been in the bottom third of the lineup and done a really nice job in that spot.
Emerson on deck, just a 115 hitter against lefties, so this may be Keller's last batter. We'll come back to Endy. He's willing it to, but
this is the ball, this sweeper that just sits in that down and in spots that so many left-handed hitters love, and especially in a pull situation with a man on second base and less than 2 outs. That's the go zone, and you hope that it's a ground ball to the right side, but in some instances like this, it's a home run or a long fly ball.
so all 3 have reached against Keller here in the 7th inning. Started the inning at 76 pitches. Been on pretty much a roll all evening long. In the stretch of 4 out of 5 lefty batters. In the midst of that, it looks like that'll be it for Keller. 6+ today. And if Robles doesn't score, it will be a quality start for him, but of little solace as he'll leave the mound trailing. 3-2 Seattle lead here in the 7th. 3-2 Mariners now. Mitch Keller goes 6+ tonight. And this Pirates pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Mason Montgomery, 30th game for him. 28 2/3, 37 strikeouts, 28 2/3 innings. Trying to keep this game right here after the walk of Victor Robles. 9-hole hitter Cole Emerson, the lefty's going to be facing him now.
He's done well against lefty batters too. Robles runs. Good throw. He beat it. And the ball trickles away anyway. Third steal for Robles. It's only a third steal against Montgomery this year.
Yeah, you don't see many people attempt to even run on Montgomery. He's pretty quick to home. Probably still would have been safe if that ball was caught.
So now in essence it's like a leadoff double for Emerson here.
And you're probably not going to see him square Montgomery, a tough customer to bunt.
Because of all the breaking stuff?
Yeah, the well over the top arm angle and ride to the fastball and breaking ball. Guys like Montgomery are tough to get butts down on. See the two-seam up and in there.
That movement into the lefty. He's late on 98. So if you're not bunting, you're trying to pull the ball, I guess, here, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're doing everything you can to shorten up and just try to get this runner to third, especially in a late inning situation. You want as many opportunities with runners in scoring position, but more so with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. Numbers are always in your favor offensively.
Montgomery with a big strikeout. 99. They can't advance the runner. He's one of the top swing and miss lefties in the game right now.
Just explodes out of his hands at 99.
The lefty batters have just not done much against Montgomery all year. And another one with Crawford.
Robles is getting a monster lead at second base. Monster secondary lead. Would be a terrible time to try to put some kind of inside move, at least to just keep him close to second base.
There's an advantage to getting to third with 1 out.
Yeah, if you're a speedy base stealer and you're on second and guy strikes out for first out, you're kind of seeing if you can't. There it is.
Just a little bit high on the throw. Almost got him.
And that was a leg lift move and a good one. Just a little too high.
If it's down on the bag, which is not easy to do as a pitcher, but might have gotten him. .237 with runners in scoring position, which is a touch better than his season average. Cole Young giving the Mariners the lead with his 2-run homer this inning off Keller. Montgomery trying to keep it a 1-run game. Missing high. Cal Raleigh is homered tonight. He's waiting on deck. punched into right center and down. Robles wanted to see it hit Earth, so he only gets the third. Montgomery,
Oh my gosh.
almost got him. Well, Crawford's going to be able to get into second base.
Well, the Pirates caught a bit of a break here as this ball was going to drop pretty much right off the bat, and Victor Robles at second base, he goes about 90% of the way down to third, and then he just stops for some reason. He would have easily scored right here. Take a look at Robles. His initial read is good, then all of a sudden decides to stop. And as this play continues,
If he left the bag at any moment, he would have been out. So it's a single for Crawford, and then the error on the throw by O'Hearn, allowing Crawford to get into scoring position. And now maybe two in scoring position after two are in this inning. Robles just getting in. They're checking on him a little bit. Foot sliding on the bag as he came in.
it's just a strangely developed play right here.
Infield will play up. Contact likely on. And Cal Raleigh, who is homered tonight. Watch out, Carlos Cardoza. Matrix. They're playing up because it looks like Robles would probably come home on any batted ball. Helps to have a strikeout pitcher on the mound.
And that's what you're looking for right here. You've seen the combination of that curveball down and the fastball up be very challenging for opposing hitters against Mason Montgomery. And now it's what do you want to go with? If you miss, you want to miss well above the strike zone. Oh, that's nice.
Tempting curveball and a big strikeout.
Oh, and now if you can get out of this inning after that Robles base running blunder, and you've got a one-run game with 9 outs to work with, you got to feel pretty confident, or at least pretty good about trying to find a way to climb back in this game. And another piece right here with the first base open, you wonder if this is a pseudo.
I wouldn't throw him a strike.
Intentional walk. Unintentional, intentional walk. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, Julio Rodriguez doesn't have a hit tonight, but he's hit the ball in the barrel 3 times.
He's got more power against lefty pitchers. And that's a strike. And righties have been hitting Montgomery very hard. He's been very good against lefties, and he got a lefty on deck. Maybe Rodriguez is thinking he's going to pitch Robbie here, and caught him off guard.
Yeah, clearly this is a beautiful pitch. Looks like if it were challenged, it probably did at the bottom of the zone. Yeah, they're clearly, you know, in so many instances like this, you see them, the 3-hole hitter and the lefty on deck and the lefty pitching, you kind of see him give him the intentional, unintentional walk, but that does not look like to be the case. It looks like Mason Montgomery's going for the strikeout.
Well, you can make your pitch, I guess, right, with first base open here. And if he doesn't swing, he doesn't swing.
Yeah, if you're going to make a mistake, you don't want it to be in the heart of the plate, right? You want the, like I said, the fastball to be up above the zone, or the breaking ball be down to see if you can get it waved down. Wow.
That's a big strikeout. Montgomery, 99. And that strands the 2 runners, keeping it a 1-run game. Well, Mason Montgomery coming in and being the fireman, stranding the inherited runner, keeping it a one-run game. Keller with his thanks. And let's recap what's happened so far in the game. Our dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers.
Yeah, not a ton of offense in this game. As you see, though, that big swing of the bat from Cole Young in the top of the 7th kind of ran Mitch Keller out of this game. And George Kirby just exited the game. Did a pretty nice job of keeping this game where it's at after giving up 8 hits.
So both starters quality starts. Jose A. Ferrer now on.
And Ferrer, 37th game for him. Heavily used left-hander out of the pen, 2.81 ERA.
The hitter is down to the second.
So Horwitz putting up a challenge here. And the Pirates win their challenge.
2 balls.
So instead of a 1-1 count, now it's 2-0. This was a situation earlier this year and certainly last year where Horwitz would be pinch hit for. And he has been even starting against lefties. .238 this year, hanging in there just fine against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, and his skill set too is, as they already have a right-hander up in Bizzardo. He never tries to do too much, right? I mean, so it's not really surprising after we've seen so much of Spencer Horwitz that he can handle facing lefties, even higher leverage lefties like this.
Ferrer last 3 seasons with the Nationals. Out to Crawford. And Isaac Mattson, who has not pitched since Wednesday, he's getting up. And a lot changes when the lead changes late in a ball game. Who are you going to use? And the lead can change in a hurry when you got home run hitters. The Pirates do have that this year, on pace for their most home runs in a season. Lau, the team leader, with 18. Now he's homered off a lefty 4 times this year. On the line to Rayleigh. You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games plus all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. Now Brian Reynolds. Isn't it good to be a switch hitter?
This is absolutely one of the reasons you become a switch hitter. A guy like this with a nasty wipeout slider and mid to upper 90s fastball. It's a lot easier hitting that breaking ball coming into you, Joe. I can tell you that.
Reynolds has already been on base twice. Hitting streak extended. On base streak extended. Good changeup. You see those sinker slider guys, if they don't have the changeup,
yeah,
they seem like they're just, kind of one-dimensional.
Yeah, it's pretty rare you see, especially a left-hander that has a really good sinker, a really good changeup, and a really good slider.
Got him to ground out on the change. A 1-2-3 inning for Ferrer. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it so you can stand in it. 3-2 Seattle. First of 3 here from PNC Park. It's Isaac Mattson coming on.
Mattson, 24th game for him. Mentioned we haven't seen him since last Wednesday. Just over a 4 ERA, 18 strikeouts.
Naylor's seeing it all the way. Madsen pitched in Sacramento. It was the first time that he had allowed a home run all year in the minors or major leagues. It wasn't on the fastball, though. That's been such a good pitch for him. You ever face guys like this where you almost know,
it's
sure,
coming?
Yeah, he's predominantly one pitch.
Yeah, and surprisingly, it's not as easy as it would seem. Usually these guys that are heavy slider usage or heavy fastball usage with really good life and backspin to their fastball like Madsen has, you kind of try to guess to certain spots and try to beat him to that spot, because if you don't, most instances you see so many foul balls when Madsen's on the mound. I mean, it's really rare. I mean, we're talking about almost 80% four seam, and rightfully so. It rarely gets hit, but it also leads to extended at bats. And there's a changeup right there. He's trying to add to his repertoire a little bit more, but it can be tough for a guy like this because you're tempted just to sit there and throw fastball to everybody. And you mentioned he hasn't given up a home run this season on that fastball, but it leads to long outings. It leads to high stress environments, and if you're not really precise, you can get a lot of traffic on the base paths. And in these late innings, it's hard to get those, call it, last 6 to 9 outs.
Hangs the leg up there a little bit. That's kind of new since he's come back. I don't remember him doing that much. A little hesitation.
I haven't seen him do this either.
Spending that time in the minor leagues trying to pick up some new tricks. You ever face Wade Davis?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a real fastball dominant guy, if I remember right.
Yeah. Especially when he turned into a reliever, he was very difficult to hit. He's got a little uptick in his fastball.
One out. Naylor retired. And Madsen really came on last year for the Pirates and was a huge part of the bullpen. 2.45 ERA in 44 games. He'll turn 31 next month. Last year was his first extended time in the major leagues. That is a strike.
Well, and that right there, Joe, is what Isaac Madsen's going to have to do to really accelerate his repertoire, is making sure that he throws strikes with some of these off-speed pitches, whether it be the changeup or the slider, because when you're sitting there hitting and 80% of the time you're getting a fastball, this is a terrific up-and-in heater from him right there. A lot of times, unless there's 2 strikes, if you see spin or something different than the fastball out of the hand, you typically shut it down to swing at it. And so this was a great example right here. Fastball down in the zone. These hitters are looking for fastballs up in the zone because that's where he has his most success. And they're not looking for anything else. And with the righties, you're seeing a little bit more slider usage and a little bit more changeup usage to the left-handers. But he's going to have to get ahead like this right here. Going to have to get ahead, mix some things up, make sure you stay around the zone so guys just aren't trying to tee off on your fastball day in and day out.
And this is a really well-placed changeup, too.
Really good action on it, too.
And he couldn't even catch it. And back to the heat and up to 96. The velocity started to tick down. He was used a lot earlier this year, and it started to tick down a little bit. Went down to the minor leagues, but fresh, It's back. Maybe even better than ever. 96 right there. Pop up. Real tidy inning from Isaac Mattson, keeping it a 1-run game. Let's see what the Bucks bats can do. And now it's time to stack the deck, presented by the Baseball Card Castle in Cranberry. And some of the Bob Walk cards. Remember, he was a rookie in 1980 for the Phillies. That's his 81 Fleer card, 82 tops, a brief time with Atlanta. That's when they would doctor up the cards. You know, when the guy would get traded. Take a look at these.
I mean, this one right here looks like this guy's going to not only strike you out, but he's going to change your oil in your car. And
wait a minute, what? Yeah, he could. He does. That's a great call on that.
That's my favorite right there.
He does do that kind of stuff.
Knows how to change the brakes.
And we're looking at, why are we looking at walkie cards today? Well, Steel City Chronicles Bob Walk debuted today and it will re-air tonight after Pirates final. So a great montage telling you about Bob's career. And that's Steel City Chronicles. Again, it'll re-air tonight after Pirates final. It just aired for the first time today.
Edward Bizzardo entering this game, 37th game for him. 2.10 ERA, 30 strikeouts in those 34 and a third innings.
Both teams with 8 hits. Pirates stacked them up early. They had 7 hits in the first 3 innings off Kirby. And Mattson hoping that he gets a win tonight. That means the Pirates take the lead right here. As you pointed out, Neil, the Mariners have a 2-time All-Star closer that is really tough to hit. And so if you're going to grab the lead, do it right now.
Yeah, this is your best chance right here. Bizzardo rightfully has really good stuff as well.
Yeah, not disparaging him. That's just how good Andres Munoz is. Right now they got the lefty Spire. Munoz waiting in the wings. It's not waiting, that's running. Depending on the score, it's either Soto or Santana. Probably don't have a lot of familiarity with each other. Managerial tendencies. Only play once a year, one series.
We'll challenge it. Okay.
Hitter is challenging the strike call.
See if the Pirates can go 2 for 2 tonight in successful ABS challenges. They do.
Call overturned.
Changing the count from 1-2 to 2-1. That's a big difference. Base hit. Pirates have the tying run on in the 8th.
And instead of 1-2, it's 2-1 after the ABS challenge, and O'Hearn gets a fastball out over the plate, is able to shoot it through the 4-hole. Looks like he's going to be run for here. He wasn't moving so well down there to first base, Joe. Ryan O'Hearn. I'm hoping there's not something wrong as we see him. Billy Cook's going to enter this game.
Did have that quad strain last month. Billy Cook with a stolen base.
He didn't see it go past him.
Running right away.
It looked like he got a really good jump. He sure did. Only thing he kind of messed up on here, as soon as he was safe, he didn't see this ball as his helmet kind of floated down in front of his face. He would have been most likely standing on third had he had seen this.
Andy Rodriguez. Even count now, and the Bucks stole a base. Now you steal the deal. Scan on screen for $25 off at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Ask for Bob.
Oh, that's good. But I'm not kidding. I have seen him at the mechanic. Changing brakes.
Brakes. That ball hit Andy Rodriguez, but because he swung, it's just a strike. Look at AHN Super Mode.
I'm not sure he even did hit this unless it hit the very end of the bat.
Just swinging through it.
Yep.
On a hit by pitch negates the hit by pitch.
Oh, you've seen the slider. There's a good chance you're going to see that same one, or sweeper, whatever he's calling it.
It's to 97.
He wanted this in, misses out over the plate, but I think the fact that Andy did swing at that breaking ball so far inside, he probably felt like there was a good chance he was getting another one of those breaking balls, either down and in or down on top of the plate.
Quick mound visit. Now, how did the pitching coach get out to so fast? How did he do that?
He was jogging, I can tell you that.
Wow. Wait, what?
Wow.
Pete Woodworth. That'd be great if all the pitching coaches would get timed. You know, they got stats for everything nowadays. So Woodworth wins for fastest time. Marcell Ozuna had a 2-strike RBI hit back in the second inning. Come up with another base hit here. Likely scores Cook. Tie this game. And the Pirates have stuck with him. You know, we're almost halfway through this season. And he's starting to come around a little bit again. This would put him in the good graces of the fans, I think, come through with a big hit like this. That's what he was brought in here for.
Yeah, perfect example right here, Joe. You talked a little bit in the first inning about, or the first at bat from Marcell Ozuna, about the approach. This is a perfect time to use that backside, middle part of the field approach and stay on that slider that he's been getting so many of, just like that in a 2-0 count.
Yeah, don't need a home run here necessarily, although it wouldn't be bad. Is it easier to make contact with that pitch if you're thinking in that way as a hitter?
It keeps you on that exact pitch right there. And in a 2-0 count, you're maybe not thinking that you're going to get a nasty slider like that, but and he hits you with that. Now you're a little bit twisted up after a 2-0 slider, a 2-1 fastball on the black. Luzardo's mainly fastball, slider, or sweeper, whatever he's calling it, to righties.
Now full count. Trying to get his body in front of it any way he can. Not just a home run hitter. Cal Raleigh, good catcher too. And of course, yeah, going to challenge this.
I think he might win this one too, Joe.
Well, even if you don't, it's a good time to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Pirates 3 for 3 in successful challenges tonight. And because they still had their 2 challenges in the 8th inning, even if he was wrong on that, it's still a great time to challenge, in my opinion.
I agree.
Because if you win it, it prolongs the inning, and it will.
Ozuna's going to be run for as well.
So Henry Davis will run for Ozuna. So good at bat for Marcell Ozuna. He's driven in a run tonight now, prolonging the inning. Cook and Davis on the bases. And Ozuna out of the game with his batting average over 200 for the first time this season. Starting to come around. Donnie said it. That was a good at bat. See if Mangum can knock in the tying run. Base hit. Will do it. 300 hitter in the air. And the Mariners will take a lead into the 9th inning here at PNC Park. Still 3-2 Seattle. The Mariners have the lead 3-2. And in large part thanks to Cole Young, who's coming up. Our North Star Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC star of the game. He's back in the 7th.
Big swing of the bat. Cole Young, the hometown kid. Lots of people in the stands for him. 25+ people in the stands for him.
And so Reynolds to right from left field. Mangum from center to left as Cook stays in the game. Play center field.
And here's the Valvoline oil. Instant oil change numbers for Dennis. 34th game, 5.23 ERA, 26 strikeouts. He's thrown the ball a lot better of recent.
And the annual asterisk of, except for Coors Field.
Yep.
He never pitches well there, but if you take that out and then you go, oh, okay, wow. Yeah, really good, especially against lefty hitters.
Well, it's somewhat fair. I mean, you know, he spins the ball a lot of sliders, a lot of cutters. Even will mix in a changeup here and there. He's thrown a lot more changeups to left-handers this year than he has in the past. But in Colorado, ball doesn't spin quite as much.
Be challenged by Andy Rodriguez on this 3-0 pitch. Pirates have won each of their first 3 challenges tonight.
Call is confirmed. The Pirates have 1 challenge remaining.
They'll lose this one. A 4-pitch walk to start. The only thing I was worried about, you know, the bullpen was pretty well rested, and Santana pitching at Coors, having that rough outing, and Munoz now getting up their closer. You know, hopefully that doesn't shatter his confidence, because he had been in that rough stretch, then starting to come out of it. And he's thrown 5 wide ones here to start this outing. But prior to that one outing in Coors, lefties over an 11-game stretch hitting 111 against him. I mean, this is what he was doing the first 2 years with the Pirates. So, and I asked him why. He's the slider. It's the slider. It's back. It's got more depth. Donnie said the same thing. So, well, 5 pitches in, we're not seeing that so far.
Yeah. Well, you're always 1 pitch away from getting a double play. Didn't look. I thought this might be a bunt situation with the 8-hole hitter Robles up and a lefty on deck. Doesn't look like it's going to be the case.
And maybe that's what Andy was saying too. Yeah, you're 1 pitch away from ground ball. If you get the next 3 hitters too, you avoid Raleigh.
Yeah.
And that's the spot I was looking at when this inning started. Other guys are certainly capable, but you get to Raleigh and Rodriguez, don't feel great, and they may not bat this inning. So he comes back with a strike after the mound chat.
And there's a good one right there.
That's firmly in the zone, and he's getting a swing and miss on it.
It must be really difficult for hitters to pick up, because when we see Dennis Santana at his finest, especially that slider, it literally looks like guys can't see it.
A weak pop-up on that slider. And he's back to himself, 1 out. The better sliders, what do they look like to hitters?
Well, you know, Santana can change the kind of the arc on his slider from time to time. Every once in a while, we'll see that slider really go off down. That one that he threw right there is to the right. It seems like he tries to keep it a little more flat to give the appearance of it being closer to the fastball, almost cutter-ish. And you see a lot of swings that are just out in front on it from the righties. Now the lefties, he seems to want to, as he starts them off with a really good changeup right here, he seems to want to throw that slider to the lefties kind of in a spot where it looks like it's going to be a strike down and in, and ends up, you know, bottoming out more so than the cutter. This is where he wanted that one, but this one backed up on him a little bit, ends up in a pretty good spot.
Disrupting hitters' timing.
That's the one right there he likes to throw for strikeout to the lefties. He wants you to see that as a strike out of his hand and be in the spot where lefties really like the ball, which is down and in. And you know when lefties make mistakes, especially with those slider down and in, they usually get hit pretty good.
Foul tip struck him out.
Goes with a cut fastball up and in.
Well, whatever Andy said to Dennis Santana, I really got him right again. He has attacked. Nice cutter. Raleigh stays on deck, at least for now. Crawford tonight, a pair of singles. Raleigh's homered tonight. He hit 60 last year. And now 2-0. Cole Young on at first. Well, behind 3-0 with Raleigh waiting. 1-run game, 9th inning. It's that kind of outing that, you know, you start to get your manager's trust again. He can pitch in close games again as he works his way back. You think about what Mattson did. Both those guys were huge parts of protecting Pirates leads, and if the Pirates bullpen is going to get better, that's the first step.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Joe.
Skied and should reach the seats.
And it happens from time to time. I mean, Dennis Santana, he admittedly, and Don Kelly and Bill Murphy admittedly said he just lost a slider for a little bit. And when you lose that huge pitch, it's in your arsenal, it makes it that much more difficult to execute the other stuff that is maybe your secondary pitches. I mean, Dennis Santana spinning the ball, whether it's the cutter or the slider, that's what makes him so good, and he has the good fastball in his back pocket.
Gets him to pop it up. And Triolo secures the final out. Puts up a 0. See if the Pirates can get at least one. Our coverage tomorrow starts a little early with Bucks BP, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. That starts at 5, and then Pirates' first pitch in AHN Game Day Live before Game 2 between the Pirates and the Mariners. And Braxton Ashcraft on the hill for the Pirates in Game 2 tomorrow. Ryan Wu will go for Seattle. 1-run game, bottom of the 9th inning coming up. And Tyler Callahan will pinch hit. Lefties have a little more success against Munoz.
Munoz, he's going to come right at these hitters. Opponents hitting just 155 combined against the slider from Munoz, which he uses at just over a 50% clip to both the lefties and righties. It's a wipeout one. He starts Callahan off with 2 99 and 100 mile an hour fastballs, and you see the numbers. ERA is ballooned a little bit from the long ball. He has given up a couple home runs, but 41 strikeouts and 27 1/3. He's got wipeout stuff and a big fastball to go with it.
An all-star each of the previous 2 seasons. All lefties due up. Callahan batting for Triolo. Then it's Horwitz and Lau, so lefties have slugged .509 against him. That's all-star worthy. Righties have done nothing. So playing the percentages.
Yeah, righties. I mentioned the slider. Righties only hitting a .152 against the slider and a .167 against the four-seam. So that tells you how well he takes care of the righties.
That's 100 miles an hour. And Tyler Callahan is down on strikes.
That is an exploding fastball, Joe.
Big time swing and miss pitcher. .101. Well, Cole Young went to North Allegheny. First game playing at PNC Park as a major leaguer. With a two-run go-ahead home run in the 7th. Pirates are out hitting the Mariners. Had a few opportunities early against George Kirby. Converted on a few. Left a few men on. And in these one-run games, everything gets dissected.
Yeah, 9 batters left on base to this point in the game for the Pirates. 7 left on base for the Mariners.
Pirates lost a pair of one-run games in Colorado. Trying to turn the tides back home. And again, because they can hit for power this year. One swing ties it. You know, last year was hope and luck. This year you got guys that can really do it. And really almost throughout the whole order. Horwitz with 10 home runs. We're nearing the halfway point of the season. This would be the first Pirates team with 5 20 home run hitters in a season, if everybody stays on pace. A tough guy to square up. You don't see Horwitz leave the zone that often, but that must be so tough to hit.
Yeah, I think he's got some deception along with a 100+ mile-an-hour fastball, Joe, because this is the second time in 2 batters we've seen these lefties kind of wave at that fastball away. That's not even on the plate.
And now Lau will be challenged by Raleigh.
Challenging the ball.
Yeah, they got 2 of them. They might as well use it on a close one.
Now let's see.
The pitch is the ball. Seattle has 1 count remaining.
This stage of the game, you can be a little bit more. Raleigh asking, we got 1 left? Okay, thank you. You said 1, right? Well, if he misses in Munoz with that fastball, we're going to have a tie ball game.
Yeah, Lau's going to be ready. That's his go zone in there. As you mentioned, he doesn't miss many times when they're
trying to stay away from him at 102 miles an hour. How does he have an ERA?
It is remarkable to think about. He's got a 5.4 coming into this outing. Who's hitting this guy?
Everyone has struck out so far against Andres Munoz. Shorten up a bit with 2 strikes. Now with 2 hits tonight. Team's leading home run hitter. That's the slider. And that's the approach of Brandon Lau right there with 2 strikes. able to spoil it to stay alive. Back to the heat. Munoz strikes out the side. And for the third time in a week, the Pirates lose a one-run game, 3-2 Seattle.
Yeah, Pirates not able to move any runners across home plate after the third inning. 6 straight innings of scoreless ball, and Mariners kept the game close. George Kirby did a good job of keeping the game close, and that big swing of the bat from Cole Young in the top of the 7th makes this a difference in the 3-2 game.
Cole Young grew up in Pittsburgh, and he helped Seattle win tonight over Pittsburgh. So the Pirates dealt defeat, back below 500. The Mariners stay in first place in the American League West. Stay tuned. Pirates Extra Innings is coming your way next. And on behalf of our entire crew, for Hannah Mears and Neil Walker, Joe Block signing off from PNC Park. The Mariners win tonight 3-2.